So, I am Dr. Hanjabam Barun Sharma, and I am currently the president of Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine, sir. And sir, we are honored, to have you as a very senior and very much respected one of the doyen and one of the pioneer of sports medicine in India. Because under you, when you are working there as a sports medicine doctor there in NIS Patiala, the first in the country recognized sports medicine specialization course after MBBS was started. So you were the first there to guide our seniors, and all the knowledge which you have given to them have come down to us juniors. And we are very much grateful that we are the sports medicine now in India is developing very much, and all the all the information, all the competency, all the knowledge which you have given, we will be able to go to a further length and success. And sir, this is the honorary membership is just to honor you, to recognize you, all the vast contribution, immense contribution which you have put in the field of sports and exercise medicine, sir. So you can
Yes,
take
yes,
from
I will take it from there onwards.
yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you
Dr.
very much,
Barun,
sir.
for those lovely words. And
Yeah.
let me introduce the our teacher for today and a great support to us, Dr. Ashok Ahuja, sir. He's a great sports enthusiast and a great teacher, physician who was former head of Department of Sports Medicine at National Institute of Sports Patiala, the premier institute of sports in India. He has also been a great pillar in shaping up the careers of many sports physicians of this country, along with his extensive involvement with many national teams in the capacity of team physicians. During his tenure at National Institute of Sports, he worked with athletics, boxing, women hockey, badminton, weightlifting, wrestling, and many other sports. He has been instrumental in shaping up and establishing best practices for many of these disciplines, which are even continued till date, and thus truly contributing in holistic development of sports in India. He was the contingent doctor for various multidisciplinary events like Asian Games, SAF Games, Commonwealth Games, World Cups, and World Championships across many of these disciplines. Post his retirement, he has continued to work with AIBA, ICC, BCCI, ACC, NADA, WSB, AFC, FIFA, and the list is counting, and is still inspiring us today. So, with this vast experience, I welcome Dr. Ashok Ahuja, sir, to enlighten us and talk something about revisiting the past, the birth specialty, and roadmap for ahead. Please. So, we are honored to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Amol. Thank you, Dr. Barun. Am I audible? Is it clear? Great. Thank you. Well, I'm really humbled today on this beautiful Sunday, where we are all meeting. And more so because I'm really honored to have you people giving me this honorary membership of this beautiful association, which I have been watching it for the last 1 year or so. If I'm not wrong, I think it came into existence now only. An organization which I have been following it very closely is very, very meaningful, very, very informative, right? Giving so much of education to all the physicians and to all the specialties. And that's what it makes this organization. And I'm sure under the able guidance of my young colleagues like Dr. Barun and Dr. Amol, I know there are a whole lot of executive committee members. As I see it, they are all full of young enthusiasts who are taking this specialty into a very, very wide horizon. My journey in this field of specialization has been very amazing, very intriguing, very inspiring for me. A lot of dejections, a lot of successes, a lot of failures, a lot of challenges. My aspirations have not fulfilled completely the way I started way back in 1979, rather before that. In the preceding 24 hours, when I was requested by Dr. Barun and his teammates that I have to come on this forum to speak a few words on this journey, not only my personal journey, but actually a journey of a sports medicine. My mind and my timeline has been ticking in the last 24 hours as to from where did I start and where have I ended. I remember a day I was doing my post-graduation in general surgery in Government Medical College, Patiala, under the able professor, Dr. K.C. Sarawala, principal and head, Department of Surgery. He called me one day in his office and he says, Ashok, I know you're not employed, because everybody knew about, all the professors that time, they knew about every student as to how is they're going over there. He says, I've been thinking, why don't you go and take some lectures to see in National Institute of Sports, Patiala? And they'll give you some money also for the lecture. I said, what kind of lecture, sir? He says, no, I have seen you right from the MBBS days. You were very good in anatomy and physiology. And it is just the basic anatomy and the physiology that you have to go and teach those students over there. I said, what students? Are they medical students? To be honest, we knew it, being a Patialaite, that there is an institute, but did not know the details of what happens over there, accepting that there is some training goes on. I was really elated and honored. And he sent me to Dr. R.L. Anand, a famous Director General, in case you people have not heard of him. He's one of the pioneers of the Indian sports. He sent me to him, the Director General. I went to his office, very unassuming bureaucrat, but full of in-depth knowledge on sports. And he asked me, will you be able to take some lectures? So there are about 40, 50 students, you see, that you have to teach. I said, sure, sir, I can try it over there. And I started my journey through an academics in sports at NIS Patiala way back in 1977. I used to go there for 2 days in a week, deliver a lecture, and come back for my own studies for my post-graduation. And they were paying me 150 rupees per month. It was a big money. I was so happy that at least I could meet my charges for the food in my hostel. We didn't have that much, you see. We used to borrow. And unfortunately, I had lost my dad, and there was nobody to support me also. So having started from there, and then of course, there was a women hockey camp. And after about a month or so, Dr. Anand called me. He says, why don't you come in the evening for about an hour or so? I said, sure, sir, I can come. And I came across that time, the women hockey team in preparation for the 1980 Moscow Olympics. And then we had the men hockey team also. I started enjoying it. But more so, when I was doing the academics, I found that this is not the basic anatomy and physiology. What they want me to teach is sports medicine. And practically, we did not have. We had knew about the anatomy and physiology, but we did not know about the functional mechanics. We did not know about the exercise physiology. And when I started reading, I started going to the library of our medical college library, trying to find out any journal or any books on exercise physiology or in sports medicine. I could not find, at least in the medical college, but at the NIS Patiala library, I could find one odd journal of sports medicine. We started reviewing from there. But those journals were, of course, not for the academic pursuits, for those young diploma course students, which I'm sure all of you are aware of, that those people are not there. But it gave me an in-depth knowledge that this specialty, nobody's talking here in the country. And nobody knows what is the in-depth information that a person can give it to a humankind and to human body. See, what are the limits of a human performance are that nobody knows yet over there. Mind you, I'm talking about it when we did not know anything about any other sports sciences. It was just basic sports medicine and a basic exercise physiology. So you can put it that way, that it will start from a vital capacity only, if you talk from the exercise physiology. Of course, in a 3 years or 4 years time, we all started talking about the maximum oxygen uptake capacities and the various physiological parameters that we talk about. This was how I started. And as I said, it has been assuming. And within a year or so, I left. After my post-graduation, I left this country. I was in South Yemen, in Aden, working over there, but I was not very, very happy. I worked for about 8 months. I moved to Canada. I wasn't happy there too. But in between, I got a call again from Dr. Anand saying that, why don't you come back? The women hockey team is under preparation for the Moscow Olympics. He said, sir, I told him, sir, I am in Canada now at the moment. I don't think so. And I've just reached over there and I'm settling down. Now, of course, I'm not. That time there were no telephone calls, mind you. There used to be only letters. There was no internet, nothing of that kind. We all know it. We all just started in the last decade only. There's so much of connectivity, the way we are interacting now across the globe. A letter will come in a week to 10 days, the reply will go, another letter will come. And it took me, I think, 3 to 4 months. So he kept pestering to me. He said, we are ready to appoint you as the medical officer. I said, no, sir, I think I have my own specialty and I don't know whether I'll be able to do justice or not. Somehow his vision was great. And he says, no, you will do it. Good, you come over. And one day, I think I left my bag and baggage in Canada and came back to India, my own country, proudly, honored. And I have no regrets that I left the green pastures abroad. And I never wished after that to go and settle down in any other country. I started enjoying it, the field of sports medicine. And then comes the challenge of the Moscow Olympics. And then immediately came the challenge of the 82 Asian Games and 1982 Commonwealth Games. Mind you, I'm talking of that time when we did not have even a medical officer at NIS Patiala. And we were preparing for 1980 Olympics. The bottom line, which I want to say, is about that. Came 1981, pre-Commonwealth Games in Brisbane. Sunshine on Brisbane, 1982 Commonwealth Games. Plus, I had the opportunity to host an International Congress of Sports Sciences, ICSS, the first world conference hosted by the country in 1982, just prior to the Asian Games. And it was an amazing challenge for me without having any experience. I was a young boy like you people and started working. I was given only about 4 months to work on that World Congress. And mind you, renowned exercise physiologists and sports physicians from the world, mainly, of course, from UK, East Germany, West Germany, USA, Korea, Japan. We could gather at least 49 international experts and, of course, 300 Indian delegates. And mind you, proudly I say, it was an astounding success, that World Congress, that NIS Patiala hosted it over there. in terms of both the academic and the research papers. Unfortunately, we did not have much of research papers to present it to any international gathering or so, but it gave to we youngsters a lot to learn from that. I still remember Surgeon Rear Admiral Dr. M.S. Malhotra, who was later on appointed as the Dean of the Faculty of the Sports Sciences. After his superannuation from Navy, he was the one who was with me along with this in the environment. He was an environmental medicinist, and of course he had a lot of interest in the exercise physiology and a lot of contribution to the country in environmental physiology. I have a lot of anecdotes which I would not like to, because I know the time is very short which has been given to me, but this is how it started. And then of course in every game, there was an experience that I always count for. And we are still talking about all those things. I still remember, just briefly, I will touch it over there. In 1982, when we went to Brisbane for the Commonwealth Games, late Syed Modi. At that time, just prior to the Asian Games, we had a big scare, just like the way we have been dreading COVID for the last now nearly 2 years. At that time, we had the viral attack in the country. So much so that I carried quite a number of sportsmen, all suffering post-recovery, post-viral recovery. They were still down with their lethargy and weakness and all that. And also some people contracted the virus there itself. Mind you, I was the only one with a contingent of about 180 people. But the good point was that I had carried one physiotherapist, and I had pursued for inclusion of my cook. I still remember that cook, Sridhar, who used to work in our NIS Patiala. His son is probably still working over there. So Sridhar, I said he will accompany us to the Commonwealth Games. I think that's the only time. And I literally fought with Mr. Vidyacharan Shukla, the minister at that time, and the chairman of our Snipes board, to include him in the Indian contingent. Every time we used to go offshores, the problem used to be of the food for the Indian sportsmen. They are not used to that unless they don't get the chapati or the rice and this thing. We may talk of continental issues, and that purview is still going on over there. I attributed at different forums at quite a number of places that the medal which Syed Modi, the gold medal that he won in the Commonwealth Games, and that was the first gold medal that we got it in badminton, was attributed to that Sridhar, the cook. And he served him egg bhujia, moongi dal, and paratha. For 20 days, Syed Modi did not have anything at all because of his high fever. And the worst was when Modi asked me, sir, and along with his, of course, wife, I mean, that time, of course, a co-player, you see, later on to be the wife, you see, Amita, they wanted to go back. I said, in case the government has sent to me, they have sent me for you people. We will not go back. We will fight it out. And mind you, Syed Modi fought in 99 to 100-degree temperature for all his matches or so. But we still could come out of that. That is how the thing started over there. I think I have been having a fight at every forum for different people or so. This is one of the challenges that I said in my opening this thing. It has been a very amazing and a very interesting journey, full of a lot of challenges or so. Mind you, if I'm talking of this sports nutrition, this has a sports medicine value into that. It is not an antidote. It's not that we did not know about the quantity, we did not know about the quality, we did not know about the vitamins, did not know about the minerals. We knew each and everything, but still, the satiety of a sports person needs to be met. And that is only possible in case we are able to put our foot down. That in case you are sending me, I need this support person along with me. And not like that only, that you this thing. I was sent to Moscow, Central Institute of Traumatology and Orthopedics, for my specialization. Dr. Anand, and then Rear Admiral Malhotra, Dr. D.N. Mathur, he was an advisor, he was working in Nigeria. They asked me that you got to go and study both the Eastern system as well as the Western system. You know, at that time, there was a big East Bloc and a West Bloc. We had the boycott of the West Bloc in 1980 and the boycott of the East Bloc in 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. That intervening period of 80 to 84, I had the privilege, apart from visiting Moscow Olympics, you see, I've also visited 2 times to Moscow and to FRG and to Leipzig to study all the system only. It used to be short trips, you see, but frequent trips over there. Because it was decided in our mind that we have to now create a full-fledged faculty of sports sciences, and the field of sports medicine has to be created in our country. The results were evident. Even now also the results are not very encouraging from my perspective or what we have seen it over there. I know we are all very happy with the 2020 Olympics, you see, because we have been able to get a gold thanks to Neeraj for all his efforts or so. But we have a long way to go. I started contributing in a sense by organizing short courses, 2 weeks courses, 3 weeks courses, separate for physicians, separate for physios, separate for masseurs, so that a field could be cultivated. But it boomeranged onto me only. A batch of 15 or 20 young MBBS graduates will pass out from the NIS with that, not pass out. It used to be that they have attended a 2-week certificate course. And then we start coming to know that they are putting up a board, sports medicine consultant to this, sports medicine specialist, this. In 2 weeks, you cannot become a sports medicine consultant. You may have only the basic knowledge, but you need to have the experience of working with it. That nobody was ready to work over there. If you call them, of course, that time, there are a whole lot of problems. Even to travel also was not easy. And unless either the federation will not pay, the government will not pay, and on your own, how could you just go over there? Even to attend a single national championship used to be a very, very challenging. We at the NIS also used to face the challenge. They'll say, okay, you can attend only 2 national championships in 1 year. Or you can go for only 1 conference, that too much later on in 1990s only, that we were allowed that privilege also. Lack of books, lack of journals. We had to fight for everything. But I was determined to have some kind of a course. The fight started with my SNIPES board, the SNIPES chairman, the SNIPES secretary. And I had put my foot down that in case we need the young doctors, we have to give them a good lot of comfort. I said free boarding and lodging to be given to them. So we started that diploma course in sports medicine, for which I had to go, I think, umpteen times to the principal Government Medical College Patiala to agree to it, because MCI will not agree. And they wanted that a medical college has to be there. They said, why can't All India Institute of Medical Sciences? It took me 3 years to convince them that we don't need a medical institution of a hospital kind. I need a sports institution where we have the manpower which we are going to take care. What shall I do having an office in a medical college? I don't think so I will be able to do it also, or any will be able to do it. Now, of course, the things are changing. The universities are there. Let's follow. In case we have to see the system, just see the system of Germany. See the system of this thing. They have the sports schools. They have the sports academic schools, where whether it is the coaches, whether it is the trainers, whether it is doctors, whether it is scientists, Everybody is working there only, because no sportsman is ready to go to a hospital unless, of course, he requires some surgery or he requires some medical assistance. That fight took me 3 years to convince the Medical Council of India to allow us to have this diploma in sports medicine course. At that time, naturally, it was 2 years course. And 2 years used to be when we started also. As I said, my perseverance paid that I could convince the board of providing free boarding and lodging to the medical students who wish to have the post-graduation in sports medicine, along with, of course, even free boarding and lodging, and even one time first class fare by train. Naturally, that time we were all moving in trains. Didn't have that kind of a privilege, to be flying here or there. So that was agreed upon. And I'm so happy that at least we kept on fighting, and that fight resulted, at least nowadays, that they are having the resident also. So apart from that, but again, we had taken an in-house decision that we'll try to have a rope in as many as possible, those who are recommended by the great institutions like Army or CRPF, BSF, you see, Railways, Air India, all those people over there. And whosoever used to recommend, we used to give a consideration to that, you see. But of course, it used to be on merit all the time over there, and less number of people used to apply it also. So the courses started running well, and I'm so happy that that has been one of the great good contributions that I think we started. And now, of course, we have got a whole lot of institutions over there, but I think we still have got a long way to go also. So attending of national championships, state championships, various domestic meets, that became a norm. And that helped in deputing also quite a number of students, you see, and giving them both national exposure as well as international exposure, at least at domestic level, was possible. And all those batches, I'm very happy that we have at least about 84 students who literally interacted with me. I know they all consider me as my teacher, but I always say that I'm just your guiding force only. I have been a guiding road only. I have been just been able to put you onto a road map. But further down, it's a very, very long road, and you got to carry it forward. And as I said, we have a long way to go still. As I said, those dreams have not been fulfilled also. Medical council fight, all these things. Of course, I had a lot of privilege of going for various international competitions. If I remember, nowadays, of course, one can see your Google time and you can recollect what has happened to you or where were you in the last 3 years back or 4 years back. But 1988 onwards, probably my every summer used to be in Cuba. And whenever we used to be in Cuba with the national boxing team, my trip to Cuba will not be complete unless I visit the Inder. A lot of language problem, but still we could manage it. And we started speaking also a little bit of Spanish, you see, few over there. At least, we could converse it out there. So a lot of experience and exposure, we get it from those international competitions also. And I think I practically visited for 7 years or 8 years consecutively. Every summer used to be with the Cuban delegations also. In between, I again had the privilege of being nominated along with Dr. C.M. Mathaya, in case you have heard his name, a very renowned, I'm sorry, he's no more now. We lost him last year. Since last year, of course, we have been losing all these stalwarts of the NIS, you see. And they are, of course, naturally, everybody is on his further path to the heavenly abode and moving on. But me and Dr. C.M. Muthaya, because we wanted more expansion of more sports sciences and sports medicine centers in the country. And thus it was taken a decision that we need to now move to Bangalore, Calcutta, Gandhinagar. You see all these sub-centers and the regional centers to be moved up. High altitude training center in Shilaru, that also has to be created also. So we had a very big roadmap that we formed it over there. And then of course we started. So Indo-USSR committee was formed consisting of 2 USSR experts, one on the sports science and one from the main sports. And from the Indian side, me along with Dr. C.M. Muthaya, who was from athletics, a renowned international decathlete, you see. We were on that committee. And there used to be up and down meetings again started between the USSR and then USSR, you see. And we will visit and those experts will come over here and we will go around the Bangalore. And good was that after about 3 or 4 years of our efforts, with the support of the government of India and a grant coming over there, we were able to upgrade the Bangalore Center. And this building where we are, I'm sure all of you have been over there, this Bangalore Center where we have been able to, again, I very proudly say that I know every place where should be what or so. We, of course, when we used to visit, we started visiting from Kantivara Stadium and a small few rooms only. And then moving on to Calcutta, moving on to Gandhinagar, not fully fulfilled, but to quite an extent. At least now we can proudly say that we have 2 centers apart from Patiala also. Delhi, of course, started coming, but I think Delhi is not a right place to have any kind of a sports training or even a sports medicine or a sports science center also. This is a bureaucratic city. It should stay with the bureaucrats only, probably under the able guidance of any ministry or so. I don't think so. It has ever. I'm very candid in my clear and remarks also. It's not that I'm going to touch Nehru Stadium or so. We saw this. We all worked in 1982 Asian Games. We know every part of the Nehru Stadium, Indira Gandhi Stadium, all these stadiums. They came up in front of us. An amount of visits that we used to make from Patiala to Delhi in the staging of the Asian Games again is very well known to us. But anyway, that is from the administration point of view. A lot of stories are there to share about it also. Coming again from sports medicine point of view, 1984, just prior to the Los Angeles Olympics, and then subsequently before the Seoul Olympics in 1988, we were given a task of scientifically estimating the profiles of these sports people. That's how we started the Faculty of Sports Sciences. We had international experts also. Dr. Marhold from East Germany was one of the experts who was called in for about 2 years or so. In 1982, of course, we had foreign experts in every game. At one stage, we had 35 experts during the 1982 games also. And we had it, of course, in the sports sciences, we had only one expert only. He was from biomechanics only, that Professor Dr. Marhold. Again, an anecdote comes over there. As I was telling about the International Congress of Sports Sciences, this guest house where you people all go these days and spend over there, this was made by us in a very hurried manner because of the World Congress that we were hosting. This particular NIS guest house, we had our international experts stay over there. And also the, what we call them as Hazara quarters, we made those houses for our international experts. And all the foreign delegates were put over there. So that's like boon, whenever we have any mega games or so, a lot of infrastructure and a grant comes from the government, you see, and it makes a big asset for a country also. And we are still cherishing that also. So 84, the Faculty of Sports Sciences, and I was telling you the physical fitness profile that started coming over there. I still remember a day, I think it was in just prior to the Los Angeles. We had done the fitness testing of the Indian hockey team. And mind you, they were not at all fit. Based on our physical report and the physiological report, myself along with my colleague, Dr. Ghosh, you see, we had carried out a test in National Stadium in Delhi. Evening when we were sitting with our director and with the hockey coach, you see, again a renowned Olympian, Mr. Balkishan Singh, we came up with the report after 3 days of testing or so, and we said that there are 9 players who are totally unfit. And mind you, we are preparing for the Olympics. Dr. Anand asked me at least 8 times. He said, "Are you very clear about it that they are that fit?" I said, "You ask the coach." And fortunately, the coach bore me out. He said, "Yes, they are not at all fit." I don't know whether they were scared or what. He says, "In case, should we drop them from the team?" I said, "Well, if you go scientifically, on scientific basis, they have no business to go for Olympics. If you talk of Olympics, then we need to have a good amount of fitness for that." We were very, very clear enough. When you are expecting to have only about 42 or 45 milliliter of the VO2 max, what do you think? That time we did not have a lactate threshold, mind you. We never had a lactate analyzer at that time. We could not check it over there. The whole world over that was the same testing which was being done over there. And the physical parameters, we had chalked it out, were in consultation with the UK team and the German team and the Russian team and all whatever are the people who were coming up over there from the European teams also, mainly Holland and so. Very brief data used to be made available over there. And we had done the same test, the same comparison we had done and given that report also. With a lot of deliberations, talking to the minister, and also they said, okay, we dropped them. And that was a bombshell in the field of sports medicine and sports science, where on the basis of a scientific test, the first time in the national team, 7 hockey players, mind you, international hockey players with vast experience were dropped on our saying. And the guns were roaring onto us. Whole night, media, press, government, bureaucrats, cabinet, they all wanted to see it. I said, here is it. And we said, we have the sheet. That time, of course, we did not have the computers. We all used to be working from the registers. Said, yes, take a photocopy of it and have it and see to it. And here is the comparison that we have given it over there with the Holland team, with the German team, with the American team. And they have no business to be there. Good for me. People started vouching for it that yes, we need to have a scientific temper nowadays in case we have to go over there. Of course, I had to face a lot of music and I'm still facing it for all those things over there. But my idea is to today tell you people is that we could carry it out, those scientific tests against all odds to have a beginning or so. And nowadays, of course, very happy that we have these high performance directors who are monitoring, and that is what is required. Monitoring is the key thing. Training control or training counseling, that we call it over there, is an important aspect of a sports physician to carry it out, just not the injuries alone. That is the bottom line that I would like to make it out. So this is the few incidences which came in between also and have been very, very intriguing, informative, and also the landmarks in putting across and telling the world that we mean scientific basis. In every forum that we touched it, whether it was doping, the drug abuse was becoming rampant, we had to put a lot of efforts lot of wrath. National federations will abuse us. They say if you are a doctor, you got to help them in the doping. And mind you, still now, I am being considered that I have been a roadblock in the pathway of sports. But I proudly deny it, and I'll keep on denying till my last breath. Whatever you may say it, we will not deviate from the ethics of sports. Ethics of sports mean to us. And the same way, the way I fought the doping and still trying to do it also has been one of the forums from the sports medicine also. And that, of course, my journey starts from 1990 World Cup in boxing in Mumbai, where I was given the first opportunity to have all the facilities for there. We did not have any lab. We did not have any know-how. Of course, we had the experience because of our visits to the various mega games or so. We knew how to carry it also. But establishing of a doping laboratory again started from NIS Patiala in that faculty of sports sciences on a second floor also with 3-4 rooms earmarked, clearly marked over there. But then, of course, I think that, of course, has been a good decision to have a proper laboratory or NDTL in Delhi or whatever place they have. But if I had my way, I wish it should have been taken there itself at NIS Patiala only and not moved to Delhi again. Because it is not only to only check it, but it could have carried it out more from the research point of view. Our research has been very, very poor. And I take a blame for that also. Probably I'm not a researcher. I have been only into the applied aspects. I have no knowledge of molecular biochemistry. I am zero. And I cannot talk also on that. But I think it's a requirement, and I very happily see quite a number of information materials which the association has been now sharing it at every forum also. Another interesting fight has been, and it is still going on, is on the age verification. I took up a challenge because whenever there used to be a problem, the ministry used to face it. Everything used to be referred. Ministry at that time used to be just a post office. But the whole thing, for every technical point or input, it used to come to NIS. That being the only sole sports body or so. And whenever it used to have, there used to be a hurried meeting called, you see, of 3-4 people, you see, whomsoever the director used to visit over there. And so like that only our journey in the age verification started. There was a big uproar, and it used to all start whenever the media used to create a big uproar that there are so many overage, which is no denying. Everybody knew it, but we used to keep our eyes shut. Probably, people used to come for the national camps. A junior camp is being held, and you see a 24, 25-year-old boy coming over there, and you say, "Is this a junior camp? What's the difference between a junior and a senior camp?" It was very evident. You don't need a medical officer or a radiologist to do it. Looking at that only, one could make it out also. The coach could make it out. And the boy used to admit it himself, हाँ सर मेरी तो वैसे तो 24 साल है पर रिकॉर्ड में तो सिर्फ 18 है ना जी. And that used to be the gospel truth also. Going into that details also, then we started finding that people are talking of the skeletal maturity. People are framing their training programs according to that. While we are still fighting with this menace also. We started on that. I still remember there was a national championship of basketball. And there were about 20 teams. We were asked to evaluate them. I said, we will need it. We worked day and night. We took the x-rays. We started evaluating them by the same method which we are doing it now also. That is the TW3 method also. It was a junior. The age verification to be carried out along with the people from the sports anthropometry also. myself and Dr. Jaswinder were deputed for this particular purpose also. And to our surprise, and the report when we gave it also, and I had told my director at that time that once we give the report, then I will make sure that in case those people who are declared overboard or overage are not participating in that, because we don't want to be made a mockery of the whole system there. And I was very clear that I will declare it to the press, the names first, if you don't take action. They didn't like my words. But director knew it, that at least we are really honest in our report also. And as expected, 18 teams got disqualified out of the 22 teams that had participated. That means that the championship had to be called off. We submitted our report and we started watching the draft. Threats start coming over there. It starts leaking, everything, you know that. Threats started coming onto me. No, this method is not correct. This is not correct. This is not the way to do it. You should see the dental age. You should check only the dental only. You should check the certificates only. You should check the axillary hair only. You should check the beard only. You cannot do an X-ray also. It is unethical. It is illegal. You know, it is an invasive procedure. You are putting all the so many rays you are inserting into these young kids, you know, young bodies, you see. All that things started appearing also. But the good part was that at least they took our words and the championship was called off. And then it became in all the federations this thing that we need to do it also. Again, as I said, media always helped on these causes also, that yes, there is a very big menace. And mind you, that menace has not still gone. That is still persisting. And it will not go because we don't have a system of recording also. And now if you compare it, so much so even lately also, in 2018, only 3 years back, I was again called by the All India Football Federation to carry out an extensive test on all these young boys who are going in academies under 14 or so. I carried out, along with my colleague, Dr. Westpace, 5,000 tests in 2018-2019 on behalf of the All India Football Federation. But before that, we had gained a lot of experience through not only in India, but whole of Asia, with our extensive service given to the Asian Cricket Council and to the BCCI and to the ICC also. We launched a full-fledged Asia program in Asian Cricket Council on this curriculum. What I'm trying to put across to you people and to tell you is that any area you pick it up, it has got so much of to do. And it used to be my forum. And I used to tell all students also that you pick up any specialty of the medicine. You ask, pick up ophthalmology, he has to contribute. You put up radiology, of course, they have to contribute. Gynecology, obstetrics, mother medicine, sporty mom medicine, all these things. The gynecologists have to take care of it. How to have the antepartum, postpartum. You pick up any specialty. And there is a link to that. Of course, nowadays, people have started realizing the various metabolic pathways, all those things are coming. 2018, 2019, having worked day in and day out on the All India Football Federation project, along with Dr. Theodore of Denmark, who is one of the pioneers. And nowadays, of course, we are again still working on the algorithm. We are working on artificial intelligence, because the method that we have been using, that is PW3, is only meant for 16 years and below. But nowadays, we have started to do it for 18 years and 19 years and above also. But when the results come out, people are not ready to accept it. And now that we have already submitted the results, I have no hesitation in saying it. A good chunk of money has been spent. Of course, we have not been paid for the last 3 years. We haven't got it also. I think Amol is telling me it's time to be up or so. I know as a teacher, probably I'll keep on talking and talking or so. Well, I just take 1 minute, Amol, and that is that the first Afro-Asian Games, India-Pakistan Games, and all these things. Yeah, I think I'm really done also. Road path is that be mindful of your sports person, know your athlete, know his family. Good thing which is happening is that those people who are working with the team is going. In our case, it did not happen. I returned, I think, about 5 times from the Indira Gandhi International Airport back to NIS Patiala also. No regrets, but only my fight has been that the person who has to go with the team or he should visit the national, he should go to state championship, and then he visit the national camps and then participate. Then only he can do his justice also. I think some other time, I know the time is going to be up. Otherwise, I'll have probably more incidents. So thank you very much, Amol. Thank you very much, Dr. Braun, for giving me this opportunity. And I'm really honored and humbled with your presence over here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I am really sorry for stopping you at such a, when
No,
we
it's
were flowing
absolutely
through
fine.
the.
Absolutely fine.
Thank you for walking us. Thank you for walking us through those memory lane. We still cherish all the efforts being put up by seniors like you with your major contribution in development of this speciality and establishing it in India and taking up so much efforts that we are bearing those fruits of it today. And we can proudly say that we are the sports physicians who have been through this prestigious institution and which was once upon a time headed by yourself, sir. Thank you for that. And your words and your guidance will always be helpful to us. On a very personal note, I would like the listeners to know that whenever we have any problem, I think including me and all my seniors also, they just give a quick call to sir and he's always ready even in the midnight to give out his experience and extend the support to us, and always his guidance is helpful in determining and overcoming those challenges which are practically faced in the field, which are never taught anywhere in the textbooks. And these all comes from that great experience of those gray hairs. And I'm sure our juniors also would be experiencing that benefits in coming time through this platform, whereby we'll be sharing more interesting knowledge and more such programs under the able guidance of sir. So without wasting much more time, we have limited time for today's meeting. I would request Dr. Dobson to kindly present the honorary membership to Ashok Ahuja sir and grace him. I'll request sir to please grace this membership and accept it, and make us proud, and once again welcome to ISSEM as esteemed member. Dr. Dobson.
Thank you, Amol. I'm really
Thank
honored.
you, Dr. Amol. Thank you, Dr. Amol. At the outset, it's a huge honor for me to have this privilege of inducting Dr. Ashok Ahuja sir. Probably should be rightly called as the father of sports medicine in our country, in India. Personally, even though I didn't have the opportunity to work or study from him, but since I was a badminton player, I had the good fortune of being associated with Badminton Association of India, where sir has been long-standing chief medical chairman for for Badminton Association of India. It's a huge honor, sir, and I've seen how sir has handled critical moments like, as you rightly put, the age verification controversy. I still remember in 2014 in a junior national championship, there was a huge hue and cry about overage athletes, and sir, it became a huge media issue, and sir aptly handled the situation with the scientific inputs.
It's a huge honor, firstly for me, and on behalf of ISSCM, it's a huge honor to induct you into ISSCM as an honorary life member, sir. Please accept this.
Thank you, Dr. Dobson. I'm honored.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, and I'm sure that ISSCM would hugely benefit out of your experience and expertise, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dobson. And we are just nearing our last minute of the meeting, scheduled meeting. So without taking much time, I thank all the viewers to to be present here. I thank all the dignitaries of ISSCM to be present for the
Dr. Amol,
session today.
hello?
Yeah.
Dr. Amol,
Yes.
one thing, some of our seniors are here, like Dr. Rana is here and Dr. Ngomdir is there. So I think we should take some few points from them also.
Sir, if the
Yeah.
technical team permits, because they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
scheduled it for a last moment. So I just thank them and then we move on.
Absolutely.
Because of the limitation of the time, I think if it disconnects, then we shouldn't have a problem. So thank you everyone for being here, and thank you Ashok Ahuja sir for gracing this occasion and being part of this association. And we'll be happy to work under you and your able guidance for taking up more initiatives that will surely develop and redefine the sports medicine in India in coming years. Thank you, sir, and thank you all for being here. I would request all the seniors who wish to express themselves, please unmute themselves and please speak. Ken, sir, you want to say something? Or Kiran, sir?
How do I unmute myself? ये तो screenshot को
The moderator would be unmuting, sir.
Yeah.
You are already unmuted, sir.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
we
yes.
can hear you.
So, good morning, everybody. And Ahuja sir, thank you for giving us your experiences. And, for most of us, what I would say was I agree with a lot of things with sir has said. And all the things when he said from anti-doping, aging, age verification, working with the athletes on the ground. Sports medicine, if I'm what I am today, it's because of Ahuja sir. Thank you so much, sir. I would just say that, and when I first joined, we were lucky to be his last batch. And I'm still in touch with sir, and I can say not only as a teacher, but he's also been just not like a guru, but also like a mentor and a father to me. And I lost my father as soon as I started my PG. So sir has really supported me, including the batchmates. You know, I must say Rajesh, Shadao, especially Puneet and Dr. Sushma and Avtar. You know, the batchmate that we have. 6 of us, we were like a family, and sir used to distribute the work properly. So I'll just tell you quickly about myself. Because of my pediatric and trauma background, moment I joined sir, he saw my resume and everything. He just gave me the task that I will be in charge of STC and COE, and I will report to him weekly, monthly, and not only the medical aspects, but right from the food they eat, the hostel that they stay in, the school that they go to. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of these international athletes now, right? I've been seeing them since they were kids, and I love working with the lower generation. So that is what sir says. We should start from the base. The problem is any sports medicine specialist, any sports science person immediately wants to think about like IPL, wants to think about Olympics, wants to think about international events. No, you've got to start from the base up. So, having a Fauji background, of course, helped me with that. But sir has really guided me through the paces, I remember with sir with anti-doping, I was like, what, yaar, itni padhai likhai karke, I'm speaking in Hindi, like this was the turn I was telling everybody. And sir heard me say that, yaar, itne studies karne, I'm going to collect piss. So sir said, no, you are not piss collector, you are dope buster. So, and then he explained to us why it is so important. So we talk about sports integrity. That is why sports is all about. Same as with the age verification. Same as with being honest and being straightforward and being truthful. Sir had to struggle a lot because with NIS, I had to struggle lesser being in the forge. In uniform services, excepting for my IG and DIG, in rank, the next senior guy was me. So I had this advantage of hammering it down to that level. We even got down to with sir's, because of sir's strictness, I went down and said, the punishment has to be made so good even in the forces that people will abstain from things. But the main focus was always on education, education, education to the athletes also. So all I can say is thank you so much, sir. I mean, like whatever I am today, it's not whatever I am as a person in terms of success. Okay, in sports medicine, whatever I am is my approach to sports medicine, my approach to sports, you know. So, and he keeps guiding us, like Amol said, you call up 12 o'clock, 13 o'clock, 14 o'clock, there's no time, 2500 hours. Sir is available, gives us a call. He calls us, and I'm still working with sir off and on with work and patients and events and all. So I feel I'm very blessed. And I think the entire ISM fraternity will be very, very blessed with sir being on board. We can always use his experiences. And you see, if we talk about our struggles, you listen to what the struggles that sir has. That's what I said. Comparatively, I think I didn't have any struggle, excepting for 9 years, no leave. But that also, I think in one term, it's sir's fault, because sir has always told me, athlete first, country first, athlete first, country first. So I ended up not going for leave in the last 9 years. So once again, sir, thank you so much. And we hope that you will always be with us, supporting us and guiding us. And thank you to all the ISM members for doing this. And I think we should continue this tradition of at least getting all our stalwarts and all the people who have, built ISM, or built sports medicine. We should have this step by step, everybody. And I think together we can make this organization and sports medicine big. There are many challenges to face right now. We all know. So I think I'll let others talk also. Thank you so much.
Take care of
Thank
your
you, Ken.
families. Take care of your families. I have not done it throughout my life. Working only for athletes and athletes and athletes, no summer vacations, no holiday. But I'll advise you people take care. Otherwise, you will repent like me at this age.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ken, sir, for those words. I would request Dr. Chengappa, sir, to please unmute himself and say something he wants to share.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Good afternoon, dear friends. Good afternoon, Dr. Ahuja, sir. It's a privilege and an honor for all of us. And just to let my friends know that every year we have a 1-hour conversation on his birthday. That's the time we connect and speak about everything, all and sundry, besides the time when I ring him up and bug him on the topics which I feel I have no knowledge on. One of the strongest points is age verification. I've done it. I don't know how many times I ring him up for his advice on age verification. But I just want to be very brief. One take-home message for all of us, and what he has taught me, which holds me in good state even today, is how to see a sports injury. And this was my very first time when I met him in 98. He always said, don't go after the symptoms. You have to find out why has an injury occurred. And trust me, till date, that is the only way. If I am doing a bit and I'm doing well in sports injury management, my focus of attention is what was the mechanism of injury? Why has the injury occurred? Because if you focus and catch the mechanism and why it has happened, he will not have a re-injury. And that was my biggest teaching from Dr. Ahuja, for which I'm always very, very grateful and very thankful. And I keep telling all my juniors and colleagues that it is not about treating the injury. It is about finding out the mechanism of an injury to prevent further occurring of injury. And therefore, that is my take-home message in this presentation to all of you. And I'm very, very grateful to sir to have taught me this very first and most important lesson in sports medicine. Thank you very much, sir. And we're honored to have you as our honorary member.
Thank you, Changi.
Thank you, sir.
I really appreciate these words. I still take at least 10 to 15 minutes in recording the history of an athlete. And then I go to the examination. It takes me 35 to 40 minutes. Nowadays, even, maybe I've become a little slow, but it is very, very essential. This is really a takeoff point also. And my again, another advice will be, please do not go with the MRI's reports. The radiologists, with due regard to their specialization, they are not seeing your patient clinically. They are not seeing athlete clinically. Every lumbosacral MRI will have the, you see, the disc prolapse. Every knee will have the ACL and the medial meniscus rupture. Please do not go with those reports, which most of the surgeons are doing it over there and advising surgery. Conservative management in 65 to 75% of the cases is still the on over there. So please, just another message, because it came over there as Changi pointed it out. So please, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would request Kiran Kulkarni sir to please unmute himself and share some words.
Good afternoon, everybody. Respected Ahuja sir. So, on behalf of my batchmates, Dr. D.K. Mohanty, Dr. Yamar Pant, Dr. Narendra Singh Bhatyal, and of course, sir has always been a friend, philosopher, and a guide. And of course, more than that, he has been a father figure in guiding all of us, not only me, all of us, in the best of whatever we can do for the benefit of sports medicine, and of course, to be in favor of athletes. And more than anything else, one or two points what I have learned, or what things I still carry of what he taught us for almost 2 years, 97 to 99, that whenever we speak or when we give our reports, we should never be biased. So we should be true, and we should be quite confident in giving the report whether the athlete is fit or unfit. Because it always happens that what he used to tell is there may be another second or third opinion. If you are biased, then definitely it is not about the doctor himself, but it is about the whole fraternity of sports medicine which is going to be blamed. So whether we get our appointments with the teams or not, because the teams, the management, administration will always pressurize us to, even if the athlete is unfit, they always expect us to make the athlete fit. But what Dr. Ahuja sir has taught us is to always be or make a firm decision and stand by the decision. And this has always been a very good guidance, and we all need to follow this. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And we are all proud to have you along with us, because you have been the guiding light, and hope we will have your advices and your blessings to all of us. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Kiran. I totally vouch for this thing. If you are quite satisfied and very candid on a scientific footings, don't be afraid of it. Be it anybody, any bureaucrat, any federation chief, any federation head. But you have to be very, very clear on scientific lines. Don't be just a unbiased report should not be there. It has to be unbiased on scientific footings. That's all I'll say.
Thank you, sir. And now I request our Secretary General, Dr. Siddharth, to please say something.
Hello. Good morning to everybody. Me and I think Ahuja sir has never met, but we have spoken. I think when I was very young. Sir doesn't remember me, but sir told about the cancelled, means when Basketball Federation, I was in the one of the national camp as a 15-year-old kid playing for Tamil Nadu state, and we used to complain saying that look at the Punjabi boys, they have all mush, we are all unshaved, clean boys. And I remember meeting sir at that time. It was very long time back, and after that, that I think was the precedent for me to know that there was sports medicine. And after that, got into sports medicine as you have now. And our organization is, I would like to thank sir for accepting our honorary membership. And I would like to, hope sir that takes part in our events and help us grow to an international association And I would wholeheartedly thank sir for gracing us with his talk. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, Siddharth. I'm sorry if I'm not able to recollect,
No,
but I
sir.
think the biggest advantage of sports is that you meet so many people. You see, you may be, in case I'm just comparing it with the professor working in a medical college, probably he will not know that many people, you see, or as compared to in the sports. That's a big advantage of a sports. You walk into any railway station or a bus stand and you'll meet a person over there and he says, sir, you are from NIS, sir. Sir, I was there in 1988, 1999. Oh, what game were you? Oh, so maybe he was a trainer, trainee, SPDA, COE, NSTC, junior boy, sub-junior boy, a doctor, everyone is collective over there. That's the beauty of sports, Siddharth. I'm sorry if I'm not able to recollect your
No
meeting.
problem, sir. This is how we meet, sir.
So with this, we come to an end for this lovely Sunday morning, now turned into an afternoon, and it was lovely to hear your path and your journey throughout this sports medicine and sports sciences, and your challenges in establishing the Department of Sports Medicine in India at NIS Patiala, and doing so much for the sports medicine fraternity, and thereby taking some hard decisions, but they are giving us blessings these days in terms of the policy matters and everything in the field of sports medicine, whatever is there in India today. So thank you, sir, from bottom of heart, and welcome to ISSEM. Hope to host few more events in future with you under your guidance. And I'm thankful to all the attendees today, all the members of ISSEM for extending their support and being here and sparing their time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
With this,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, with this, we can end the program for today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Barun. Thank you, Barun.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Everybody have a good day.